attend the meeting, but kind of market what we're doing for the partnership there. So if there's any questions, I can kind of speak to some of that. But again, that's kind of quick few months, half check-in, half year check-in, I guess.
So of those 15 projects that you guys have potential business from,
yes,
only item that's come to fruition is basically on the steel frame side.
So on the attraction, so yeah, so we got about 60 leads. 15 is what we submitted on, 15, and that's throughout the entire county. About 3 or 4 of those specifically are specific to Butler, and that would be in, like I said, and we have, I mean, a lot of the more retail spaces downtown here, but specifically, those would be, like you said, the service steel framing sites, one I'm submitting a lot on right now, and previously would have been the second height steel building there, but yeah, anything that kind of comes in through there. But yeah, I would say so far about 3 to 4 projects specific to Butler.
And any of those you have a timeline or any implementation potential like within this year yet?
A lot of them move super slow, and that's where sometimes they result in site visits, sometimes they're a little bit warmer, sometimes we never hear back, sometimes I try to follow up with the state. A lot of those do come from the state, from the IADC. Sometimes they are more local or from the regional partnership. But yeah, unfortunately, like I said, once I submit on those, it's kind of a waiting game. I mean, we did get a site visit 6 months ago at the airport site down in Auburn, and that was, kind of a 6-7 month lead up process. So it's kind of a waiting game whenever they're ready to make the move, depending on the lead. So some are quicker than others. Any other questions?
I really don't have anything else. When can we look forward to your next visit?
So yeah, I mean, I'll work with Mayor Hartman, so I guess July, August, September, October. So we can knock that out then. And hopefully I'll have some more phase 2 stuff on the lagoon for you guys. I know they've already produced a report that was over 200 pages, so it's pretty robust. But we've obviously partnered with BCA, so they're doing a lot of the environmental stuff for us. But yeah, they do a good job.
I think on your October visit, I'd like to hear more on your leads.
Sure.
In progress there. I mean, that's kind of our biggest advocate here by partnering with you guys to help bring more attractive new business to help grow.
Yeah.
So I mean, all these other things are great, but I think with the root for this partnership of what we're looking for is how do we get more new business growth? And
yeah, no doubt.
So if you can highlight that more on your next visit,
for sure.
Very appreciative.
Absolutely. Yeah. And again, more on the service steel framing. We had one that we thought was a potential buyer, just ended up financing fell through. So again, I mean, obviously my biggest thing is to let you guys know that Butler still obviously at the forefront of those conversations whenever started my eyes. So
Thank you. If funding falls through on something like that, you guys work with them to try to find another lending source for them, or you just?
I haven't, no. I haven't had those types of conversations with them. But I mean, I'm certain it's not a question I'm not afraid to ask. So, but yeah, I just never went there with those guys. So
I don't know whether like IADC does any funding as well, or.
They have specific grants. The one we were working with was more of a relocation rather than like just a whole new built business or anything. But again, not to say that, that couldn't have helped them out or anything, but yeah, I just heard that it wasn't the right fit or finances was the issue I heard. So, and that came from, the Holman team, the guys over at Service Steel Framing. So,
but find a grant for $500,000, that really make the financial pretty easy for me.
You think so?
I think what it asked 1.5 for that property.
That sounds about right. Maybe a little less, 1.3, somewhere in there.
But yeah, I have any questions.
Cool.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Next, we have Ian Fincham from the Auburn Main Street. He's here to discuss potential funding for the Cal County Cal County Veterans Memorial that was, I think, dedicated back in November. So, Ian, go ahead.
Hello, I'm Ian Fincham. Can you hear me okay? With Auburn Main Street. And thank you for allowing me to speak tonight about the Catholic Veterans Memorial. I had sent out a packet, I think we had a chance to review it earlier. I wanted to just let you know that when this started, it was started with like a junior honor Main Street group. The youth worked with veterans, and initially, with the initial campaign, we raised over $183,000 for that project. To date, funding that's been raised is $194,484. That does not include any of the in-kind giving, which is well over $50,000 in in-kind support from various entities in support of the project. But now we're in the final phase, and it's a very important phase, we feel, is to have all of the veterans from our county represented with their names. We had hoped that the engraving could go right onto the limestone. We were kind of unsure that that would be a possibility. There's a lot what we're understanding at this point is that they're worried that that would cause damage to the stone potentially, and then what do we do? So they're expecting that we do granite slabs to put things on that. That's going to be quite a little bit more money than what we have. The funding has been set. We have a small fund for maintenance and set up as well, but we don't have funding additionally for that size of an ask. So what we are proposing is asking various entities throughout the county to help participate with this project. It's basically based on population size is where the numbers came from the map that we need to raise. And so what we're asking for, the initial ask, is for Butler to provide $1,890. The total amount for the initial phase is $31,815, but the total cost of the project itself is $62,108. We do know that we've had basically the bids are not to exceed an amount. So what we do know is that the total amount, we would come back in the fall with whatever final bid that would be at, and the total ask is not to exceed $36,990. So I'm here today asking if we could count on your support for this project to help us get over that hill and get the names installed on that memorial. I hope you've seen it. It's on 9th Street in Auburn, where the Post 97 location used to be, right at the river there. Do you have any questions for me?
I have a couple, I'll leave that, and these guys can chime in too. I think we're all 110% for the Veterans Memorial park over there. This is my opinion. As far as we look here at this Auburn Main Street, Auburn Junior Main Street, Auburn American Legion, City of Auburn, why wasn't the other communities brought in early on? Why weren't they brought in early on for the fundraising part? Why are we being asked to give money because you just realized you're short on funding? Why wasn't the Butler Main Street notified if this is a countywide project? Butler Main Street was never notified. Waterloo Main Street was never notified. I know Garrett was never notified as far as Main Street. I feel like you guys wanted to take all the credit for it, but then we found out you were short on money, that I think we need to play nice and go to the other communities and get money. So that's where I'm coming from. I'm pretty blunt about it. I've been kind of upset about that whole project from day one when we done an unveiling and none of the other main streets were asked to participate and none of the other communities were asked to participate until it's a short fund, and then all of a sudden you guys want to come back so much.
I will say, we did work with the Legion here in Butler and Garrett, and they did support the project. We did not know initial costs, and where they landed were a little bit different. I think the engraving portion, which was kind of, I think that was kind of a surprise. We thought we might be able to use panels or something else. We thought that we were able to fundraise without actually using taxpayer dollars. We were trying to avoid that as much as possible with the fundraising effort. But now that the fundraising really has been completed, it was completed a while back, to take it back to the community and ask them for more funding is, we felt something difficult to do. So we are now engaging to see if that's a possibility. So that's really the mindset. We were trying to do it through community activation mostly. So,
Just Auburn community activation.
no, we did work with, we went to Garrett
But for the
Region.
majority of it is what I'm getting.
Yeah, I will say we received a lot of funding from your area locally and Garrett. This project has many members from this community represented on that memorial, as well as Garrett, once we can install the names. But not just those areas, Waterloo and everything. We did reach out to Waterloo. They didn't have a post in their area, but they provided us all the veteran names. They did their banner program as well. So they provided that to us as well. So, you know, we worked with the regions to get names that might not have living members anymore. So we did work with the community in that regard here, but, you know, you're right, we didn't come to the cities themselves, so we were trying to hopefully get to our goal without having to.
But if it's a county-wide, I would think you being the president of the Auburn Main Street, would reach out to your other counterparts within the county. And Butler, we would be nice to give us an opportunity to fundraise for that, so that we don't potentially have to dip into our taxpayer money, or we could run and get donations. But it was like, you guys wanted to do this on your own, but then at the end, you found out that you was a little short on funding, and then let's bring everybody else in. Like I said, I'm 100% for this project. The way you guys executed it, I'm not so fond about it. And I would hope that there's any more projects like that next time that is countywide. In Auburn Main Street statement, that you guys really look at it, that this needs to be a countywide endeavor, and we need to realize there's more than just one community in the county.
I do think there were many lessons learned on this project as we went through it, and that would definitely be one, just so that we had your support. If not even funding, at least so you were aware and knew what was happening with that, so that you could be an advocate for it.
So your initial estimate is for the 3690 is what you need?
It's 1,890 to start, and then the final, we would know that it's not to exceed the 3690.
So this is something you guys are in favor of. I would say table tonight, when we discuss with Angel when she gets back, what fund that's gonna come out of.
Yeah.
That would just be my recommendation. Probably.
Is there a possibility, depending on how long the second thing takes, we could still fundraise for it in Butler? So that it's not coming from taxpayer dollars and it's by local people who want it.
What is your deadline?
That's my next question.
I do believe that, as far as, once they have to go ahead, we have to put half down, so as soon as possible, so that we can get it done before winter.
So that should go with that early.
We have to have 75-degree weather to drill into the stone, so it doesn't.
So the goal of that is done, obviously, by the time snow flies.
We have to order it, it's about a 6-week order time.
Probably that's a bad idea, try to fundraise and give our community a chance to put some money into
I
it.
will say there were many industries that did that.
Could you provide us a list of everybody from Butler and Butler Industries that donated?
I can give you a list, I don't know as far as, I should have all their addresses, but to break it out, I don't know how easy everything is.
If you had industry, we would be able to determine
Yeah,
from
I
Butler.
can look at the larger donations and see what, that would be easy.
If we're gonna fundraise, we don't wanna hit them twice.
Yeah, exactly, that's right.
Any other questions, if maybe you can look for that list, maybe get that to me sometime this week, and I can pass it on to the board of works members.
Just so we are clear, we are in favor of this, but I do back the mayor's comments on, how this was approached initially at the beginning of this project. So we do advocate for our veterans and stand by them and do want to support this, just give us a little bit of time to raise this money.
A little bit off the funding subject, what was the application process to get veterans' names put on this? Where was that advertised at?
on the, on our website, and, you know, I put it out on social media and paper, newspaper, and we put them at the posts in the libraries as well. They were available in the Butler Library and the Legions themselves.
Is that still an open?
We will continue to take names ongoing. So that is not closed. It's meant to be updated every year or two, with names, depending on how many we have. And how many we have to add to it. Right now, there's been kind of a cutoff, so we can get the cost for grading. But we have just been handfuls that have been turned in, that you can kind of get, you know, so they're trickling in at this point.
Okay, thank you.
Has the Butler American Legion Post been recognized as a sponsor anywhere?
Yeah, it's on the memorial, so
Okay.
yes.
Good. Anybody else have any questions? Ryan?
I think we'll go ahead and table it, and look at our options, and bring it on next meeting.
Okay, well, thank you for your time.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you. I'm going to insert one more. I had actually GFL way here at the back, and I know Jake, I appreciate the talk, and then get back on the road. So I think last meeting I brought up, with the cost of diesel fuel, GFL has reached out to add a fuel surcharge to our contract. Jake, correct me if I'm wrong, there is no verbiage in our contract that says that we have to do the fuel surcharge. But with the price of diesel recently and continuing to stay where it's at, he did reach out to discuss it. I think we're talking less than $500 a month, maybe we got that figure on there, but also wanted to go through the fuel surcharge discussion on that, it's a certain level of a drop, and so if you want to take that from the beginning.
Yeah, yep, so just to answer, $436 a month for 12 months, so, when we look at it, we're looking at, and we've approached the city of Fort Wayne, they did partner with us on a fuel surcharge, same percentage that we're requesting here. I got a meeting down at Huntington and some other municipalities that we service. So when we look at it, we look at the EIA, so the Energy Information Administration, and we're in the Midwest PAD here. So the PAD is Petroleum Administrators for Defense District. So in May of 2025, the EIA reported that it was $3.44 a gallon for diesel. In May of 2026, $5.73, so an increase of 66.57% year over year. June of 25 was $3.56 per gallon. June of 26 this year was $4.98, so a 39.89% year over year increase. July of 2025 was $3.76. And hey, well, you know, right now we are under the threshold of 25%. So is my conversation discussion maybe a little bit late? Yeah, I kind of missed communication with you back and forth on the process. So as it would stand right now, the fuel is at $4.65. So it's 5 cents under that 25% threshold. So 25% of $3.76 would be 94 cents or $4.70 a gallon. So I did some rough math here for a Butler. So for the garbage truck, about 60 miles a day, multiply that by 4.33, because some of the months are 4 and some are 5. That's 259.8 gallons per month. Recycles half of that, 129.9 gallons per month, and then bulk is obviously one time a month, so 64.9 gallons, which comes out to 454 total gallons. So that's where it costs us in the month of May, $1,039 higher than normal, and then in June, $644. So yeah, we propose when fuel drops below 25% that the surcharge goes away, and obviously we're kind of trending in that direction now. Who knows everything that's going on, unfortunately, even with the fuel tax, in the state of Indiana, it didn't, affect diesel at all. So it was only I live in Ohio, so I always come to Indiana to fill up, so, yeah, it didn't affect us from the diesel standpoint. It's 50 cents per home, per month.
So right now, we're at the point where you're not asking for fuel surcharge unless
Yeah,
what it was backed up.
yeah, and really, I mean, we delayed it. I think did I reach out to you in June?
Yeah, because you just missed the first meeting in June.
Yeah, so we delayed it, right? So all the talks and all the news stations, right? Everything was gonna be done overseas, and it's obviously been prolonged. So we tried to absorb it as long as we can without coming to our municipality partners. And like I said, it's not in the language of the contract. I've just been approaching either mayors or board members and discussing the impact on our business.
What is some of the feedback you've been getting from them?
City of Fort Wayne approved it, and that was tens of thousands of dollars based on the revenue of their contract. I still have to meet with the mayor from Huntington, and then I gotta meet with the board, for Whitley County, not next week, I think the following week. So, I mean, they've been receptive at least to hearing us, to having a conversation. Right, I talk to Colleen all the time and Mayor Hartman, so, I mean, at least they said, yeah, you can come out. So, all the discussions have been really well. Went really well.
And I think also our deliveries citywide with the seeing fuel surcharges and stuff like that. So I guess right now you're not looking for it, but maybe we can go ahead and approve it that if it does go back up, that maybe doesn't need to come back here.
Yeah, I'm good with that, but is there anything that we get, like an email, something just outside of verbal?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's my only contingency here. I mean, trust you. But
No, yeah, you're good.
just want to make sure we're all on the same page, that we have that understanding.
Yeah, so it's 2.15%.
That's a total.
Total, yeah, so it's 20,285.08, times the 2.15%, $436.13. $20,285.08, so monthly would be $436.13. Roughly 50 cents a month.
You may have to adjust your ordinance. Garbage costs. If you're going to charge additional to the customer. Yes.
Well, I know if you're going to do that towards, that's 5 months left on our contract, and, I do know that there's probably a little bit of overreach in the GFL account that could.
It's the price for the remaining 5 weeks until renewal.
Kind of a process to change the garbage rate temporarily.
Yeah.
If you were gonna change it for 6 months, fine, but to do it month after month, it's kind of a big process to go in and change for the bill. So my standpoint.
Now we're talking 5 months right now on your contract. Yes. If it stays low, then we won't see Jake again until contract.
Yeah, okay. Hopefully,
We hope that's what the case is.
yeah, hopefully we can discuss a 1-year extension on that.
So we want to have a review that GFL account first before we look at it. So
Yeah, we just have to pull up what money's in there and see if that's the direction we want to go. If not, then we'll have to go back and entertain a motion to do that. And again, it have to be changed the language, the sign said. I guess the main thing, no matter how we pay for it, if you wanna authorize to pay for it now, if it does go up, so we don't have to bring it back in. If it doesn't go up, then go on the file. So if it does go, then we'll have to look into what's in that account. How to make it.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I make a motion that we authorize payment for the fuel surcharge, as long as it stays where it's at today, and it helps avoid bringing me back in for next time.
Second.
Motion and second, approve the GFL fuel surcharge if needed and as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, that motion will pass.
Thank you.
Yep, I'll get it ready for you.
Yep,
Thanks a lot.
appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
All right, moving on, I believe we are on number 6, payments and vouchers. First one is payroll claim register for the pay period of June 29th to July 12th. The amount of $47,507.16. And the second one is vouchers for the period of July 2nd to July 16th. The amount of $672,942.40.
I move we approve the payments and vouchers for payroll claim register for pay period 6/29 to 7/12 in the amount of $47,507.16, and vouchers for the period 7/2 to 7/16 in the amount of $672,942.40.
That's second.
The motion is second to approve the payments and vouchers as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, that motion will pass. Move on to the department report. We'll start off with Andrew.
I don't have anything from Board of Works currently. You can come back to me.
Court.
Last, a few meetings ago, we sent 2 officers to, public safety medical to, get ready for perf. Everything came back good, so I just want permission to hire Brian Miller and Andrew Spengler.
And those are start dates.
Brian will start tomorrow if you guys approve, and Andrew will start Monday.
Spangler?
Yes.
I move that we approve the hiring of our 2 new officers, names of Brian Miller and Andrew Spangler.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve the new police hires. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, that motion will pass.
Thank you.
That'll fill the 2 positions that you've had there for how long now?
Quite a while. We're fully staffed now, so we good.
Ron?
I have nothing for the Board of Works.
Man.
Stuart?
Nothing.
Chris?
I have nothing for the Board of Works.
I have nothing for the Board of Works. Okay. Andy?
I have nothing for the board work.
Well, you done?
Nothing for the board works.
Colin?
Nothing for the board.
All right, Bob, welcome back. You got anything you wanna talk about? You've been gone for like forever.
Yes, it's been a long time. But, no, I've got nothing else, other than it's good to be back.
Justin?
No, I do not.
I just have one, have down here interlocal agreement for planning services. So I'm gonna circle back to Andrew. I know I've talked to Bob about this, Justin, Don's looked over the paperwork. So I'll kind of give this back to you, and we'll start from the beginning and.
And if you want to come up, Chris. So my last day will be August 3rd. I came into this to try to help out, you know, in the absence of a planner. I've always been part-time, and we were aware that this would not be up for everything. So as life changes, events, et cetera, I think this is the time for me to move out of this position. And we started talking with the DeKalb County zoning administrator, Chris Gallner. He's been helping me over the last 2 years anyways. Planning, zoning was not my chosen career. It's not a career path I thought I'd ever take. I have enjoyed it. I've enjoyed working with everyone here. I certainly enjoyed the subject matter, but it's also not my chosen career. Chris, this is what he does for a living. So for 2 years now, he's been helping me with every research, how to handle things, how to properly document it, all of these different things. So when I came on, the mayor also went full-time. So a lot of the city planner responsibilities transferred over to the mayor. Economic development stuff, redevelopment stuff. A lot of things that were on the actual planner's job description since the planner job became part-time, transferred over to the mayor. He's done a very good job of taking care of those. One of the main reasons I think it's good to hand these things over, this does not hand over any control of what happens in Butler, but it allows them to go through the procedures, go through the processes, make sure everything is documented, done correctly. But one of the reasons I think that is important is because the mayor has done a very good job of reaching out, doing economic development, bringing new things into the city. We have a massive amount of infill in housing. We have hopefully new housing projects starting soon. We have AutoZone coming to Butler. We have so many things coming in as a part-time job. It's gotten to the point where I can't handle this with as much as the mayor's bringing in. So that being said, it makes a lot of sense to get these folks on board. So the interlocal agreement that the mayor had put together with Chris, the commissioners, et cetera, would allow them to issue our public permits, our permits day to day. And then Chris would come over here to work with our planning commission on discretionary zoning. By that, what I mean is things like a rezone where the planning commission has to hear it, they have to vote on it, and they have to send it to city council. So any of that type of stuff would still all take place here. It would all be within the control of Butler. The day-to-day permits that are like, yeah, you can do that. We just have to issue a permit. You have to pay for the permit. That's not something we can necessarily say no to. It's a by right thing. So day-to-day we'll be able to take care of that much more efficiently. I think it's a smart move for the city, and I think it's going to be good. So, Chris, do you want to?
You hit most of that. So we've had an agreement since August of 2024, approved by the Board of Works for contracting through the interlocal for the county zoning administrator, which is me at this time, to help Amy, like you said, with the city planner role, advising more or less for the planning commission, and then I was actually the hearings officer for the Board of Zoning Appeals, so that was something we'll have to work out through, but yeah, so this new agreement basically just outlines what the roles would be for the county to do the city planner role. You're not losing the city planner by any means, you're just having it contracted out through the county. So the knowledge that I've had, I've done city planning and zoning, oh gosh, I'm gonna age myself, like 17 years now, 18 years now. Was in Cass County, Logansport before I moved to DeKalb. So went to school for planning or for landscape architecture actually, and moved down to Florida where I thought I would run away and never come back. And went to West Palm Beach and left there, came back home and done city planning and zoning. So anyway, just quickly going through the interlocal here. Basically, there's a couple minor tweaks because it's approving by the Board of Works, wherever it says Common Council, we'll just replace that with the Board of Public Works and Safety. The effective date is August 3rd. And then Andrew basically went through the rest of page 1 and page 2. The cost to the city for this, currently, you're paying the county $20,000 for this, so it would be just a slight increase for the planner role of $22,500, and then the support staff for the county, so the 2 staff members that I have that help me on my day-to-day roles of issuing building permits, improvement location permits, answering questions and phone calls, would be $20,000, $10,000 to each of those 2 support members.
And let me expound on that. Correct me if I'm wrong, the city planner was, until I came in, the highest paid job in the city.
Yeah.
I mean, it was. The mayor,
The second one, for sure.
I think it was the first. I think it was the highest paid job. When I came in, we took it from a full-time job down to a part-time job.
But also, sorry to interject, the mayor went from
Right.
part-time, not part-time, but
January 20.
full-time.
5.
Yeah, so right after this got,
Yeah.
well, we're
So
on after this got.
It allowed this to basically go to a part-time job. Part of that was obviously benefits went away I didn't get benefits through this. And some money was given back to the city. Even with the $20,000 that we've been paying Chris, and then what I make, it was less than the city planner was before, by a good portion. This part of what my pay is now would go to them to fulfill this role, but there's still $7,500 additionally coming back to the city.
Less than.
Yeah, so the city is getting money back on this, but we'll have 3 people that can fulfill those day-to-day operations. That's why I think it's going to work out well for the city. So the city's getting money back, and there is more support with people that do this day in, day out.
And trust me, I didn't really take this like I did my due diligence and wanted to follow it. And I guess one of the, I don't want to say turning points for me, but one of the big conversations I had was with Mayor Ryan Daniel in Columbia City. And I had seen an article where their city planner is part of the county. So I called him up and talked to him here several weeks ago. And he said, yeah, we're doing the same thing interlocal with Whitby County. He said, we haven't had a city planner in Columbia City since I think 1991. And he says, we're a city of 10,000 people. So he says, with you being a population of 2,700, I think it's a good thing you guys go that direction. That way you're consistent with what the county's doing. You're not coming in as a builder, you're getting 6 different rules and regulations out of each community. I think we've done a pretty good job of trying to be consistent with the county is, so you're not chasing different rules and regulations for every community you go into.
Over the past 2 years, I've tried to, every time I've needed to redo a process or our documentation wasn't good or our forms weren't good, I called Chris. I said, hey, can we use the counties and make it for Butler, but use their processes? They have very good processes, well-defined processes. Things happen, things come in, boom, 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 boom. So we have aligned ourselves with the county because they have very well laid out processes and procedures.
And we may have a strategy, we've talked about that. There's a permit coming in, we've been working with Stuart to have him take over that on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. If it comes in on Tuesday, Thursday, I'll take care of it. Then that way you guys don't have to worry about any permitting on your guys' side other than collecting the money on it. And they're getting the portal set up online. We're going to touch on that a little bit, where we're at on that. And making things a lot easier for people to get permits, because either way, they're gonna end up in Auburn, and then they're gonna come back to Butler, or they come to Butler, we're still sending them to Auburn, so this way it's gonna kind of mesh those together, where we make it one trip.
It's very rare that we issue a permit that a citizen doesn't have to go over to Auburn anyways, because they need a building permit. On top of that, as well as the folks in the ETJ, when we expanded that, because it made sense for our comprehensive plan, those folks who would have gone to the county for all their stuff, then had to start coming here, then going back to the county. So this will streamline it, and people will be able to, for the most part, go to one place, which is nice. I will, over the next month or so, just be helping out anything Chris has questions on, making sure he knows the things I did, making sure he has the right information, the right materials as we make the transition. So my stop date is August 3rd, but I will continue on in that capacity. Outside of official, I'm gonna help make sure they get everything they have so that this is a smooth.
Stuff will have to get ironed out as far as email stuff and.
Yep.
Because I think there will still be a city planner email, right? Like it's not,
Yeah.
that stuff's going away and you're getting absorbed into the county, it's just.
No. There will still be a
How-
planner email for Butler that you guys will be able to access.
Yeah.
And I will say again, I appreciate, everyone here. It has been great working here. I will still be here a lot. I still intend to help and harass Tracy. So,
As long as you bring me
It's
coffee.
not a good thing.
right,
It's not a good thing, he's still gonna be.
I appreciate everyone here. You guys have been great.
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Just one quick question, is this a combined total of, 42,500? Okay.
Yeah, started out 20,000, I think, for Chris, then last year was a 3% increase to 20,600.
Yeah,
That's what I clarified, $1,900.
right, but then this'll be for the remainder of 2026, which will work out that proration, and then 2027, nothing will increase.
Right, it's not until 2020.
2028, where we'll look at increases if necessary, yeah.
You don't want an increase, it's okay.
What's that?
You don't want an increase, it's okay.
All right. I won't put that there. Yeah,
I just have one question. So a lot of times when I'm out driving around, I see him working on something, I'll call him and be like, hey, do they have a permit for this?
Yep.
Will there be just some website or something I could access to see if they have?
you can
it?
have, we can get you an email address, or you can use our smart gov. You can be able to go on your phone and,
And then I can find out if they have it or not. I would love to streamline that.
yeah, it's not a public portal, right? Like, so it's not
Right, oh, I
like the
understand.
public can go on to it, but yeah, you can do that.
Cause I get guys out there all the time.
We can do that right now.
Get that, that'd be great.
And if not, then just shoot me an email or a text. Or
If I- And then if I don't see a permit for that, just let you know. or-
Yep.
Okay. And how will our permitting process work? Like, we still fill out the paperwork and then I email it to you, or?
For now.
For now, yeah, I mean, that's how we do it in the county still, is that we've not given up our forms that we fill out, we make them fillable, so we can just, a lot of people do email them to us too, like, I would say at least half, maybe a little bit more of our permits that come through are all online and via email. Rarely does it happen that people come in.
The two things I've been looking for is access, so that I don't have to run through three people.
Oh, yeah, I could have given you that 2 years ago.
Okay, no, well, not me, I wasn't here that long. But no, that'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
And then I just gotta learn how to fill them out, what we're doing, you'll walk me through that.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, motion then, if you're ready to move that direction.
I move that we approve the, interlocal agreement with DeKalb County Development Services to provide a planning staff assistant with the city of Butler Planning Department. My contingency is only to ensure that we fix all the changes and amendments to the current document highlighted.
Yeah, there's a couple, some things that we'll correct.
Correct, but as the document reads today.
Second. Motion and a second to accept the interlocal agreement for planning services with the additional, changes. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, that motion passed.
Thanks, guys, and then I'll just get the signature form from you when Angela gets back.
Yep.
Okay,
Thanks, Chris.
thank you. Bye, guys.
I look forward to that.
One other item I forgot, we do have a special event request form here. This is a reference ORV access to the city just for Butler Days only. It was submitted by Amanda Knapp, so I've got her here. If we have any questions, the basis is just gonna be for the Butler Day Festival times that the ORVs from outside the community can come into the community. And it also would allow them to come in without a Butler sticker or registration.
I move that we approve the Butler Days ORV access, special event request as it's.
Second. Motion a second to approve the special event request for Butler Days ORV access. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Hearing none, that motion will pass. Does anybody in the audience have anything pertaining to tonight's Board of Works agenda? All right, we'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
7:21, we've got some paperwork signed, so let's try to start up here